I want you to imagine this. The mining market has completely exploded in our little Minecraft world, and businesses within the Leaf and Snow Village have quickly formed and began the extraction of minerals. However, with this development, a certain company we'll call the Iron Totem has grown quite big. They mine and sell iron to the villagers of the Leaf and Snow Village. But through some strategic purchases of other competitors, they managed to hold a monopoly over the iron market. They are the only ones that mine and sell iron. However, the governments of both the Leaf and Snow Village do not like this move at all, and they say that this development will be detrimental to the iron market as a whole. But why? Why are monopolies seen as so bad? Even in the game Monopoly, arguably the most successful board game of all time, was created as a lesson as to why monopolies were detrimental to markets. Well, today, let's explore this topic together through our favorite block game, with monopolies explained through Minecraft. So first, what even is a monopoly? A monopoly is defined as an exclusive possession over a service or commodity. In our case, the Iron Totem has an exclusive hold over the iron supply. They are the only company that mines iron and sells it to the market. To explain why this is so detrimental, we first have to ask the question of how does the price of an item get decided? Let's say two villagers sell a mending book, with one that sells it for 16 emeralds and another that sells it for 14. If a bunch of players visit these two villagers, which one would get the most sales? Well, obviously the 14 emerald villager would get 100% of the sales, and the 16 emerald one would get 0. This specific case is called perfect elasticity, and although I won't get too much into elasticity in this video, it basically means that at any price change, the amount of players that a villager sees changes infinitely. If one of the villagers changes their price from 14 emeralds to 15, they immediately lose all of their customers. So in this scenario, consumers have most of the power. In order for the villager to earn any amount of emeralds, they must keep their price at a single point or go lower. They can never increase their price. And although this is a really extreme example, in many cases with high competition, businesses don't have much power in what their price can be, since they'll risk losing a lot of customers. Now let's go to the other end of the spectrum, back to the Iron Totem Monopoly. They have no competition, they're the only ones that sell iron. So they have complete control over what the price will be. Since everyone needs iron, no matter how much the monopoly jacks up their prices, they will still see sales. Hello, this is editing me here from the future. I just wanted to make note that monopolies don't have infinite control over the price. There's still a demand curve for the item and the monopoly still needs to follow it. It's just that since consumers don't have any other options, if the monopoly raises the price a lot more, they'll lose much less customers. This in turn hurts the consumers and is one reason why monopolies are so dangerous. Now another factor that businesses have is how much they produce. Think of the mending villagers again. If one of the villagers refresh their trades at a slower rate, they will be running out of mending books first. And therefore during that period where they have no mending books, they lose their customers to competitors. So this incentivizes companies to always improve their rate of production, so they don't run out of products to sell. This in turn helps the consumers, since they have much more supply that they can buy, and they won't ever run into a shortage of mending books. However, in a monopoly, they have no reason to produce at a faster rate. In fact, Iron Totem actually benefits from producing at a slower rate. By restricting the output of iron, they increase the demand for iron due to the shortage. This means they can further increase the prices since there's not as much iron to go around. This once again hurts the consumers. Now the last factor I will cover today is innovation. Going back to the villager analogy, let's say that a villager, through tons and tons of research and experimentation, finally discovers another level of a mending book. A Mending 2 book. An enchantment that fixes equipment at a 50% higher rate. Once they put this book into the market, suddenly a ton of players go to that villager. And even though that price is higher, they still see a huge amount of sales for this new book. Other villagers, upon seeing this, are inspired to experiment on their own and try to innovate new and improved ways to differentiate them from the market. Competition inspires innovation. When there are a ton of competitors, businesses must come up with a creative solution to keep up with the race. This innovation helps consumers, as they buy top quality products with a lot of thought put behind them. Now let's look at the iron totems. They once again do not have any incentive to innovate. For all they care, they can use the exact same method of mining and refining without changing a thing, but they still get sales. Even if the quality drops off, people will still come to buy iron, because that's literally the only place they can buy it. This hurts the consumers as they get lower quality products for the same price. So in the end, it's all about incentive. Competition forces companies to keep prices low, produce at a higher rate, and stay creative. With a monopoly, none of this happens, and businesses have all the power over the consumer, especially for a good as important as iron. Competition is a race, and if there's only one runner on the track, they have no reason to go fast or change their strategy, because no matter what, they always win. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.